Okay. Yeah. So hello everyone. Good morning and good evening. Sorry, a bit late today. 1 second. Let me increase this. Yeah. Sorry, a bit late today. Okay. So today, actually, we stop in the middle, right? Yesterday, some example. Okay. The product item we actually made through that automated file generation, right? So we have finished with the two actions creation. I think let me start meanwhile the Angular server. Okay, let's say npm start. So it will take care. Yeah, so we finish actions done and reducer. Okay, so reducer we have a key and we have a state. Yep. So we need some data inside. Can we get data from the previous example? Okay, like serial number and all, right? Let me grab this from previous example because we already done that, right? Yeah, I'll just go there. I think here NGRX events handling SRC app components product item. Yeah, I think in the reducer. Okay, so this is the data. Let me grab this. Okay, I'll just keep it here. Okay, so this is your initial state, and so let's modify the content. The state, the same like this because we already finished that. Let me just copy this on function for both. I'll just paste it here. Okay, because we had already done that, but some problem is showing. Okay, increase quantity has to write a import statement. Okay, here also import statement. Mm, okay, what it says, yeah, product is not there now. This dot state only. So state dot quantity plus one. I think it's done right. Okay, there is nothing like this. Oh, I think I need to lot of changes. Okay, I got this and only this part replace here. Okay, fine. So we finish with the state, initial state and the reducer. That's fine. And we also exported. So let me add this reducer to the um, main state. So previously where we used to do is in the manual process, we used to do in the app module, right? Here we used to write, but in the automated thing, so they given a separate file for us for the reducer. So here you have to configure that. So it means go to this reducers. Where is this? Yeah, here is the file, main index.ts store. Yeah, here you have to make something like product of type. Uh, I'll do one thing. Let me import star as so product reducer. Sorry, product. Okay, product reducer from dot slash component slash product item slash reducer slash item reducer. Okay, and inside you need to find a, yeah, you have to define the state. So state contains what? The key and value. Okay, so you need to give the feature key and its state. So I'll do like this. Product item, I think you supposed to give, yeah, I think you supposed to give, yeah, so I think you're supposed to give the in the brackets product reducer dot um, product feature key. Its value is product reducer dot state. Okay, and its reducers will be like this: product reducer dot product feature key, and its state will be product reducer dot reducer. So state you have to configure here, reducer you have to configure here. Okay. Hello. Now audible. I think now it's audible. Okay. Okay. Fine. Yeah, I think application started. Yeah, that's fine. Um, okay, what else? So let me see what is my state here. Okay, so let's see what is voice is breaking in between. Now I think it's fine. Actually, I got a call, so because of that, it's breaking. Okay, so let me see the state now. I think right click on this, inspect, redux. Let's see the initial state, raw state. Yeah, see here you have a product item. Its value is the whole product. Okay, so I got the state defined as per this one. State has been defined. Yeah, let's fetch data and display. So to display, I think we need to add the component here. Let me go to the app component.html. Here I say app product item. Okay, so let me go to this ts file. Let me fetch data. So let me add public. Come on, public product. Actually, you're supposed to give the type of the product. I just give any as of now. Okay. So let me declare dependency. So private store of type store, that one store. This is of type state. The global state you have to define. This is from the this one. So the state is there now. So the state you have to give this state. For example, see here in Redux, when you open Redux, if you go to the state raw button, yeah, this is the whole state. So this particular state you're supposed to give here. Even if I click on, see it's gone to that state. So this state you have to give. So from there, I'll fetch the product specific state by using the feature key. So this state you're supposed to give there. Okay. Um, yeah, here it's done. And now what you do is let's fetch data. So how to fetch data from the store? This dot store dot pipe. Inside you have to select something. Select. I need to give the feature key. How to give the feature key? Let me get everything from there. So import star as so product reducer from dot slash reducer slash product reducer. So because there are multiple exports are there, like export to constant state, export state, export reducer. So multiple variables has exported. So that's why I write star with some name. Okay, everything can come for this variable, and this variable dot what is the exported variable you can call. Okay, so I say here product reducer dot product feature key. The feature key you have to select dot subscribe. You will receive the state from there. Okay, you receive the state, and that state I assign to my product. So this dot product is equal to state dot actually state itself is contain the data because I give a feature key. So state itself we can give because actually what happened is in where is my state? Yeah, see if you give the feature key, it is given state. The state itself is product, right? That's why you can just add state as it is here. So with this you understand. So dot means quantity and all coming, which means that is itself is product. Okay, yeah, fine, I got the product, and this product I want to display over there on my HTML. So HTML, I don't want to write again because we already done that. So let me grab the previous one. I think HTML component is this one. Yeah, this is the whole setup we already done. So let's paste it here. Okay, and something we have to do here is directly product is there, no product information for us. Directly just do one thing, product dot control R, replace with nothing, gone. Okay, And also, yeah, that's fine. So when you click on each, first let me check, am I getting the all the things or not, and then we'll see the click event and all. Okay, so let's check. Yes, I got the data. I got data. And when I click on a plus symbol, not increasing, not decreasing. That's fine. Let's make it. So I just keep it back. So click decrease quantity, increase quantity. Let me create these functions or methods in here. Public increase decrease quantity, and one more public. Um, what man? I'm getting calls and net is getting disconnected. Yeah, yeah, that's I understood. Actually, what happened is the same mobile. I think net has not come today, maybe, but tomorrow I'll get the internet connection. Um, a problem is I tell you, but whatever I say, but it's just a problem, right? Because the same mobile, I need to remove the SIM. Some other SIM is there. I'll remove it. Yeah, copy this. Uh, let's say public paste. Okay, so let's dispatch an action. So how I do is this dot store dot dispatch an action is click decrease. I think not that one, no. Decrease. Actually, decrease quantity belongs to the actions. Can I do one thing? Actually, you can fetch all these actions, all these actions. I mean, you can import all these actions manually. I tell you how it is. See, in actions also you have to export, no. So I can just give some variable for that. Import star as product actions you take. Actions from dot slash actions slash product item actions. Okay, so now what I do here, product actions dot decrease quantity. That's it. And here also this dot store dot dispatch product actions dot increase quantity. That's it. Okay, fine. So we fetch data and we display, and also we are dispatching an action. So that action will take care about state changes, and that state already subscribed here. So whatever the state you do, that state will also, I mean, will also get changed in my local variable, and that variable has, I mean, that object has been attached or already binded to my HTML. You can see everything on my HTML. So let's see here. Uh, let's minimize this little. Okay, initial state is this one. You can see the chart also. See, this is the chart. Okay, state product item is the feature key. Its values are serial number, image, and all. It's fine. So quantity 2 now. Now when I click on a plus symbol, yeah, it's made an action increase quantity. So when I click on this, you can see the quantity also here 3. See, 3 has been. Okay, raw data you can find it's 3. So when I decrease it, decremented, so 2. So tree you can see, like one by one you expand, and chart you can see, chart you just hover, you get its value, or click on raw button, you can see that, or else you can see the difference. Yeah, it shows what exactly got changed, only quantity got changed. Okay, that way you can debug the application. Okay, fine. So this is an example of automated uh, reducers and all. So let's go through some other example. I think one second, for morning batch what I discuss, Angular code, NGRX. Yeah, I think events handling over. Okay, forms binding, structural directives, NG4. Okay, okay, forms binding. So using forms, how can you do the process? Okay, so I mean, how to bind the form when you submit the form, how the store can receive your data. See, till now, okay, something next level of NGRX will do. What is that? Is see here. Where is that? My here in my item component, you just call the action, right? Decrease quantity, increase quantity, you call action. But for this action you're not no, you're not passing anything. Till now whatever the action we have discussed, in NGRX. So every action is just empty function. So it doesn't take any property. So it doesn't take any property. Yeah, still the problem is there, voice. Hello. Oh,
It's okay, Naveen.
okay, okay, fine. Actually, in between, I'm getting calls. That's a problem. Can we? Okay, okay. Then do one thing. Sometimes it's breaking, huh? Sometimes I'm getting the call. Students are calling me. Can we do one thing? Just give me 5 minutes. I'll remove the SIM. Okay, because if we remove the SIM, then no calls will come. At least up to the meeting. Okay. Yeah. Just give me 5 minutes. I'll fix it. Yeah. Okay. So now we didn't get any disturbance. Yeah. So I think now it's fine because I remove the SIM, so no calls will come for this number. Fine. So yeah. So see here, till now, actually, what happened is for this action, empty action, right? We have taken empty action. It doesn't take any property or something. It doesn't take any parameter, right? It doesn't take any object, whatever. So let's create some action which will take some props, because you want to create. Suppose when you submit a form, right? When you click on submit form, the form data has to submit to the server. It means before that it's supposed to be come to the state. So how can you receive the form data? So you need to have something called props. So let's see that example where how can you receive the props. Okay, it is just a dummy action. So let's create some fresh things. Yeah, let me take a backup of this and then we'll start. So close all. I'll just take src angular package.json, these three copy. Go to, yep, angular evening NGRX. So new folder 03 hyphen events handling auto. Okay, that's fine. So now what I do is I just delete the components. First, let me stop the server. Then, yep. Components reducers not required. We'll do it from scratch. And component.html, I don't need the product item. And in module also, I don't need anything here. I don't need reducer, product item, store module. Nothing is required. And this is not required. This is all not required. Just give some comma. I think I made a mistake. Only these two not required. Okay, fine. So I kept everything back to original. App component also just empty, and there is no component here. Fine. So now let's discuss. I need to have a registration form. So when I fill in the form and click on submit or register, so I need to get the form data and store in my NGRX store. Okay. So once you keep there, from then how to send to server and all, we'll see next examples. Okay. So let's see how to deal with the forms and all with NGRX. Okay. So first of all, let me create a component for registration. I create new directory components. So in this, I create a component. Yeah, NGGC register component. Registration should be. Yeah, it's created. Created. Fine. So let me design that and then we'll continue with the NGRX and all. Yeah, let's say app register. Let me go there. In component, I think I have to start the server, right? I think npm start. It starts server. Meanwhile, we'll proceed with this. One container, one row, single column. Let's say column D5 or something. Card header, card body. Still problem is there. Okay. So bg secondary text to white. So let's say p dot h for registration, and the card body, let's take a form. Okay, in card body, let's take a form. Yeah, hello. You didn't see my screen? Hello. Voice and screen is not matching. Okay. I think now it's fine. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Fine. So refresh. Okay. Uh, registration works. Hmm. Okay. Actually, I made what man? I did this card and all. No? Nothing has come there. Refresh. Mm, it's not built properly. One second. Huh? Okay. So let's take some input fields. Let's take a division with a class called group. It's a long story. Input type name. Just three fields: name, email, and password. Okay. So text to this is email. This is password. Okay. Here also just email. This is password. Okay. And let's also make one registration button. Okay. It's came. Okay. So submit with a class called come on btn minus secondary sim. Okay. Okay, so we got registration form, and let's do what data binding, and then let's make it with. I mean, first we'll do local data binding, and then we'll send to the store. Okay, when you click on submit, I want to send to the store. So how to bind it is in registration component. You have to take one object, and that too with a separate type. So I create here itself in the components registration. I create something called right click new TypeScript, just say user. So let's take export interface user, which contains the name as string, email email is string, and password is string. Okay, so let me bind that here. So I'll say public user of type capital user is equal to one object which contain the fields like name is just empty, and email is empty, and password empty. Okay, fine, I'll go slow. Yeah, so name, email, password. I think some problem with Zoom, it seems. Net is okay. Let me test my speed once. Net is okay. Not coming. Mm, oh, that's slow it is. It was 20 Mbps earlier. I think it's not a proper result. Okay. Yeah, one last time. Postpone the session. No, because we already taken many leaves, so we have to continue. One second. Yeah, okay. Let's try one last time. If not, we'll do something. Okay. Yeah. Previous batch recording. Uh, yeah, we can send, but that may be like exactly not same. No, actually, previous batch recording we can send, but the problem is, uh, that's what. If I do that, we have session tomorrow. We have session tomorrow. Yes, we have session tomorrow, and Sunday also we have session. Okay. Note channel I'll keep today. Yeah, let's see. Let's finish this first. Okay. Yeah, I think. Okay. So let's finish this. So I have taken a user with name, email, password, and all. And so what I do is let me bind it first. So how to bind? Actually, do we have the forms module here? I think app module, forms module not there. I think we removed it. Yeah, let's say import forms module. Okay, and just say import statement also forms module. Okay, so we can use now ng model in my HTML. So let's write for every this thing. So name is name only, and let's say ng model user dot name. Okay, and then here name will be email, and ng model will be user dot email. Next, so name is password, and ng model is user dot password. So let me see is it really bind or not. So let me write something called pre-tag expression. So user of type JSON. Okay. So so one thing you have to understand here is when you do the forms binding with NGRX, so never bind while doing the file changes. Where is my pre-tag? Yeah, it's came here. So never bind while doing the file changes to state. Actually, this forms binding, right? So forms binding should happen with local state only. Why unnecessarily? See, actually, what I'm saying is this forms binding is there now. When I'm typing my name, it is getting updated in the name. That's fine, right? So this updation, this binding is happening between the front end template, the HTML and the background TS file. So this two-way binding is happening like this. Okay, it is nothing binded to state as of now. State is not created now. I mean the store NGRX store is not binded. So it is just only bind to local. So what I am saying is whenever you have a forms like this, you fill some data. So that time generally what you're supposed to do is first bind to the local state of the component. So once you click on submit, then you take to the NGRX store. From then you can send to the server. Okay, because why? Because if you don't want to bind to the local, I want to directly bind to the NGRX store. What happens is for every character you enter, it will trigger an action. Okay, because that's what you have to update the store. No, to update in the NGRX store, you need to dispatch an action. So every character you type, you have to dispatch an action. So unnecessarily your debugger will full for every character. It's keep executing one action. Okay, just for the form only, how many characters are there, those many actions will trigger. That actually not looks good. Okay, so what even every expert of Angular says is if you have anything like this, do two-way binding or like this character typing and all, you first bind to the local. Once everything is finalized in this, just click on submit. Only one action that will send whole form data to store. That's what we are doing now. Okay, so now we confirm that data has been binded. So this data, when I click on submit, I want to add this to my NGRX store. Okay, that's the plan. Okay, we already confirmed it is there. So let me remove. Yeah. So yeah, we have taken a component to binding everything done. So let's create NGRX store and send to that one. Just dispatch an action and send it. Okay. So how I do is, let me create a store and all, just like a previous example. I think we have a notes for that. Okay. Uh, don't go through all this. I think we already done this one. Schematics and all we finished no for this project. I tell you, copy. Okay, see here. Let me change the language to JavaScript. Yeah. So first of all, you have to install schematics for your application. So schematics we already installed, right? Previous example also very automated, right? So this you have to install first. This too you have to execute first. So that I already done. So I'm not doing. And then you have to install these two. That also already done. Okay. And then let's create these things. So I don't want this much story. I'll just make only. So create store and action and reducer, those things. So directly commands are right. This is the command one, and this is the next command, and this is the action, another command. That's it. Three command. That's enough. You don't need all this. Not required. Okay, simple. So these two we already done, and these two already done. So let's create a store action, reducer. This is for store, this for action, this for reducer. Fine. Store will be name state only. Action, you can choose whatever the name you want to give for the component. So register is my action name. Reducer also I'll give a same name as register. Okay, so now my commands are ready. Let me execute. And remember, this is nothing but a root store. So it means you have to execute this in the root level. Okay, and these two belongs to the particular component. Okay, action belongs to particular component. Reducer also belongs to particular component. So you have to execute them in a component level. And this also execute at the component level. So this is why root means this is common for the whole application, the whole Angular application. This is common. Okay, the whole module it is common. Individual module how to create a store also I tell you, but as of now only one module, that is app module. Okay, fine. So let's create this part. So first let me copy this, go to the root location. Anyway, I don't need this much story, not required. I make only these things, small setup, done. Okay, so let me copy this, execute a store, where I execute in the root level. Let's open a fresh terminal, paste it in the first app, enter. So this will create a store, and it also does some configuration in the app module file. See, it creates a store and does some update to the app module. You can check now. It creates actually in the app reducers folder. Okay, root level. This is your root level store. So this contains the complete configuration, empty state, and this configuration also done in app modules with import statements. All import statements has come, and also it's made a empty store. So once you execute this one, you can check your application. This will be enabled after you execute this command, this first command what you execute. So it will create a store and also configure with your application. So it means as soon as you execute this command, so please check this will enable, this will get enabled, and also please check the store, it will be just empty. You go to redux initialized state, you see raw data just empty will be there. So now we confirm yes, store is successfully initialized for my NGRX store is successfully initialized by my application. So now let's create an action and reduces for this particular component. So what to do, go to this component, register component, right click, open in terminal, because particular component I have to run the actions. So go get the action. This is the actions command, register action only, no? Yeah, action. So paste it, enter. It has some question, just say why. Okay, so success and failure, yes, enter, yes, enter. Actually, success and failure actually required when you deal with server side, but as of now, no server side we have discussed. So just create a dummy, no issue. And then this command, copy that, paste it, enter. Y and Y, done. So now check in my component, two folders has come, actions and reduces. If you see the action, there are two actions, I mean three actions, load, register, success, failure. Okay, actually we don't need any of this, but just the structure has made. And reducers also complete setup has made, key, state, initial state, reducer, everything. Yep. So now let's create an action. So what is this action is, click on submit, this called registration, register. So let me create an action, copy that, I will paste it here. So just say register user is my action, register user is my action. So I'll just take here register user is an action. Okay, these things actually not required, but before I remove this, you observe very closely, load register is one action which doesn't take any parameter, right? But when you see the success one action which takes some props data. Okay, failure also takes something props error. It means this action will take some parameters data. This action takes some parameters error. Okay, one registration successful, I get the data back from the server. Once registration failure, I get error from the server. For that reason, they made these two. Same story. I want to make it for my register user also. What is the thing? Actually, what is my plan is, I tell you. Let me write paint, then you clearly understand. Actually, what is my plan is, this is my register component. Okay, so in my register component I have all the fields. So field 1, field 2, field 3 I have. Okay, and I have my state also in the local component level, state also there. So what is my plan is, this is my NGRX store. NGRX store. So what is my plan is, when I click on register, this particular state I want to send to the store and keep in the store. That's my plan. Later I tell you how to send to the server also. So if you want to send this state, this local state of the component, when you see the component, yeah, this is the local state, right? This is local state. So this state I want to send to the NGRX store. To send means you click on a button. Okay, you click on a submit button. So when I click on submit button, this particular data I want to send to the store. So how you send is, you need to dispatch, you need to dispatch an action. Okay, so here you have to write is, you need to dispatch an action. So if you simply dispatch an empty action, what happen? It won't receive anything. Actually, I need form data to store here. So it means this action should receive your data. Okay, so how to create an action to receive the data is like this. When you see the register action, yeah, see here how an action will take some parameter is props. What is the data you provide, you can write here. Okay, and you call this action provided the data. That way you have to do. Okay, so let me do the same story for us. Copy. For register user, I will take data. It's not data, I'll take user object of type capital user. Why I'm writing capital user is, when you see the register component, in that my user of type user, the same object I'm sending to the NGRX store. So obviously same object you provide to the action. So I'm also double checking, I need to get the user object of type user only. That's what I write here. If you have any like dilemma, you can make any type. Okay, that's fine. And these things, why unnecessary confusion, I remove them. Only one action that will take a property called user. So okay, so now action received user. Now what is your plan? So this action is giving some data. So this data I want to update in my NGRX store. Okay, but who is responsible to update in the store? Your red user. So who is responsible to update the store is your red user. So you have to create a red user, receive the data and update to the store. Okay, let's manage the red user now. Okay, so go to red user here. State. Actually, what is that state you're looking for? Same state, obviously, because same data I want to store. So same state. So I write here user of type capital user. That's my state. And data will be just say user with the value. What will be there? Name will be there. Just take empty initial state in the NGRX store also. Email empty and password also empty. So when this value gets filled, when you trigger an action, it receive data, then it's fill. Okay, so where you write the logic to fill out this state in the reducer. So I write on action. So let me get the action. Actually, you can import the action here. Import star as. If you have multiple actions there in the file, you can write like this, because only one action we have. But still I follow the same procedure. So I say user actions from dot slash, not that one, I think dot slash action slash register actions. Okay, so this is the variable. You can make an action name. Okay, I say user actions dot, what is that action? Register user action, and comma, this will receive the existing state. Along with the existing state, see, state is default, extra. Along with that, my action is also take some extra property called user. Okay, so at reducer, how the reducer will receive the action specific data. See, when I dispatch an action, action having data, right? So reducer has to receive the data, put it in the NGRX store. So how reducer will receive data is, this action have some props. So that props how you receive is next, after state, what is the parameter is, in the brackets you make control space, you check user. Okay, so why I'm writing user is, action is defined with user as a props, so that props you receive here. And here you can write n number of, you can take user, error, data, n number of you can do. Okay, so those many things you can receive here, whatever the name you mentioned there, you receive here. And once I receive the user from action, this user I want to update in my, this is my NGRX store, I want to update here. So how I update, you return the new state with, this is the new state, user data. So let's say user data. So what is data? Name. How you receive the name then? Name value will be, I already received the user objects, so I just say user object dot name. Okay, so whatever the data you receive through actions here, whatever data you receive through action, dot property I'm matching to my this property name. And then email, user dot email, and then password will be user dot password. And I'm not doing dot 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 state dot user. Actually you're supposed to do dot 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 state dot user. I'm not writing this extra line because same number of properties I'm updating here. If you're having only one property you're updating, you want to keep hold of existing properties as well, then you write this. Okay, but why I'm not writing is, same amount of property, no property got reduced here. In the new states every property has as having its value, so no need to write the spread operator, because every property I'm writing. If you have only one property, then you have to write that, keep hold of existing state data. Fine, so now my state is having data, so my action ready, reducer ready. Okay, to fill the NGRX store. So now what is the last step? When I click on submit, dispatch an action and see in the NGRX store, do we have data or not? That's the plan. Okay, so go to my component. In this, let me get the store to dispatch. So private store of type capital store. This is of type the global state. Actually, I missed something. Did you guess what I miss? Did you guess what I miss? Actually, one second. I missed something. I tell you what is that. See, if I go to the Redux, tell me what I miss. Yeah, state raw data, just empty is there. If I see raw data, empty is there. But actually in my reducer, what is there? I already defined some initial state, username and also first time my store contains some empty data. So where is that? Not there. Why not there? Because you made action, you made reducer, but that reducer is not configured with the global state. See, when you see the index.ts, yeah, see there is nowhere configure your reducer. Correct? Let me do that. So because it's just empty, no, it should be some username empty like that should be there. Okay, the component specific state is not visible here. Okay, so let's say star import star as uh, register reducer from dot slash reducer slash, I think not this one, dot slash no dot slash components slash register slash reducer slash register reducer. Okay, so from there I'll make the key and value, feature key and its value. So register reducer dot its feature key value will be register reducer dot state. Okay, that is state configuration. And your associated reducer you configure here. The same key associated reducer will be register reducer dot reducer. Okay, so now you have perfectly configured your state specific information, I mean your component state specific information in the global state. If you have done this step, now check your state now. See, register component name, I mean the feature key name, its value is all empty. That's fine. So now when I click on submit, this form data should available in the NGRX store. That's the next step. So when I click on submit, you have dispatch an action. So where is this one in the component? Go to component. I have data. So I have store also. Not ng on init. Nothing required. This is not required because on the page load, nothing we are doing. When you click on submit, we are sending the state, right? You have to dispatch an action when you click on submit. So go to HTML. Where is my HTML? Yeah. So for form, I'll say submit event. So then let's say submit user, submit user. So create this method in the component somewhere here. So public submit user. Yeah, here you have to dispatch an action. So this dot, but I need to have an action also. No, let me import actions. Let's say import star as register actions from dot dot slash. I think here only, no, dot slash actions slash actions. Okay, if you have multiple actions there, you do like this. Anyway, we have only one action, but I'm still doing this. So what you do is, so this dot store dot uh, dispatch. What is the action? Register actions. My imported variable dot register user. So if I just call this function with empty, it shows some error. What is the error? Expected one argument but got zero. It means, see, argument for props was not provided. It's saying that this action is associated with some props called user. Dude, you're not provided that data. It's saying, okay, let me put it in this way. I'll keep this dot user. It still shows the error. What is the error? See, it is expecting user, right? So I provided a user, but it still says the error. What is error? See, observe very closely what is error. Argument type user is not assignable to the parameter of type in the brackets user. You know what? This action is there. Na? This action takes object user object. I mean, outside object is there. Na? Object inside user object. So what you're supposed to do, it is not just like this. It will be like object in that user. Now happy, not happy. Oh, sorry. User is the property. Value is this dot user. Now happy because object user is a key. See the action. Object user is a key. Value will be my local already binded data user. That's fine. So now let's check, are we getting this state information in the NGRX store or not? So let me fill some data. Naveen email. So Naveen at gmail.com, and I say something Naveen 123 or just something blah blah blah. Okay, when I click on submit, see here, I got register user action triggered and your data has filled with the typed data. Okay, you can see raw, I mean this is only better. You can see data. So now we achieve data to the NGRX store. So from here, how to send to server and all, we'll see later. Okay, here only one thing is when you click on submit, this local form component is a specific data. How can you pass to NGRX store? That we discuss now. Okay, let's also make some other examples like um, actually what type of example we discuss in fundamentals. Events binding, forms binding over. Yeah, Structural directives, we'll see. So structural directives, I think we did multiple examples, no? App components. So yeah, we have multiple things, but don't do all this time waster. We'll do at least one. Something called this one, hobby select. We'll see. So how you do the hobby selection? I think how it is. Hobby selection example. Hobby selector, eating, coding, sleeping, some check boxes, and you display eating, coding, sleeping. Okay, okay, got it, got it. So this example we'll see now. The same example I will bind it with NGRX. Okay, first let me take a backup of this because this is the forms binding example. So let's close all. I think let me stop the process. Exit, exit. Uh, don't worry about this error. By the time we are doing the coding, this is the error, but later it is successful, compile successful. So just see only this. Yeah, it is successful, no issue. While doing program, right? While typing also, it will do some internal building. So that time you get this. Don't worry. Lastly, it is successful, so no issue. So let me copy this src angular.json package.json. So these three, let me copy. Go to Angular evening batch NGRX. Okay, let's create a new fresh folder 04 hyphen. So binding, forms binding, paste it. And one more thing I want to tell you. See, in Angular fundamentals, structural directives, we'll see one example, but component interaction, there is no example from NGRX side. So why no example from NGRX side for component interaction? Do you know anything? Because actually, if you're dealing with NGRX state management, there is no question of component interaction. Actually, what is component interaction? So parent to child data transfer, child to parent data transfer is interaction. Correct. So because that time NGRX was not there, that's why you send parent to child to parent. Now structure is what? See, I tell you, I think by seeing the diagram you understand. So now state is global, right? So there is no parent and child relationship also. You can get directly from the NGRX store. No need to get from the parent, no need to send from child to parent. Okay, so that concept actually not required. Yeah, I show you. Come on, processing. Yeah, see here diagram. Where is diagram? Diagram. Okay. See here. Previously designed like this. That time state can be maintained every component level. That's why you have to send to parent to child, child to parent. You have to do all this entire story, input, output, and all you do. But now design is like this one. It became like this. Yeah, of course, you can configure child inside a parent. That and all fine. But when you focus like a state level, I mean this NGRX way, it designed like this. So if it is a parent of this one also, this can access state directly. So parent will put this data in the global. Don't draw like this, okay? So parent can put data in here and directly child can access that simply. So there no need to send to the child from this level to this level. You don't need to send. You can just put in the here. You can access there. Okay, and that can be any level of component. It can be 100 levels of the component you write also. Anybody can access the global location. That's what a concept of NGRX. No, fine. Okay, let's close this. Yeah, that PPT I'll post today. Yeah, so I think it's empty now. App components and all. Oh, I think I just not empty. I might stop the server. Yep. So let me delete this. This is not required. Reduces not required. Component not required. Module. A lot of things you have to remove. These many things not required. This third component not required. These things not required. Okay, so pure component. Array, we miss forms module also. Import forms module should be there, no? remove just like that. Yeah. So it is back to original empty and empty app component and empty. No component is there here. Okay, NGRX with okay Angular NGRX with structural directives. What is this, man? What you guys are doing? Don't do anything. Okay, so I have it now. Let me start the server npm start. Okay, so what's in my plan now is I want to take the structural directives src um, app components, this component hobby select component I wanted to make it, this hobby select I want to make it. So I didn't want to draw this again because it's time waste. Let me grab this as it is set up, just connect to NGRX. Okay, that's better actually. Okay, so let me take this as it is and just connect to the NGRX. Okay, I think it's getting started because if you develop from scratch, no, the problem is you miss the actual NGRX. Okay, you only focus on again same thing we are doing again and again. Okay, yeah, have it. Yeah, see here. So first let me grab this. Uh, what is the name of the component? This one, hobby hyphen select. Let me create the same component now. Yeah, how to create a component? I just create right click new directory components. Okay, so in this I create a fresh component to nggc hobby select enter. So you get the empty components. So I'll just replace with the already made data. Yeah, it's done. So let me grab all this, copy all, and I replace where in the hobby select all these four I replace, delete them, delete all, delete anyway, paste them. So new, I mean existing components I pasted here. So now let me add that in the app component, hobby select. Okay, done. So go to app module. Any problem? No problem, but two times this is coming. One time is enough. Okay, fine. So I made this component, add to the app component, everything success. Let me check. Yeah, I got this. So when I click on eating, coding, sleeping, yes, it is working. Eating, coding, sleeping, it is working. So now what is my plan is, let's make the same example with NGRX. Okay, let's attach NGRX. So before I start with NGRX, let's see what can be done in NGRX. Actually, what actions can be there, what reducers can be there. We'll focus on that and then we'll do it. First of all, see here. Uh, this is my component, right? In my component, I have three variables. Okay, so this is my state, right? So eating, coding, sleeping. So three variables data is there, and the local data has been binded to the template, right? Fine. Now what is my plan? I don't want to bind the data in my local component. This is supposed to happen in my NGRX store. Okay, so NGRX store also you need to have a same amount of data like eating, coding, sleeping should be there. Okay, fine. And that's about reducer, state and all. Then what actions? Actions, I'm checking on eating, coding, sleeping. Okay, so you can make three actions. Check eating. I just made an event. So check coding, check sleeping. Because all these things is binded like this, like ng model eating. So it is like two-way binding. I don't want this way. Whenever I check this, see, whenever I check this, I want to dispatch an action. So that will update the NGRX store. So from the store only I fetch data attached to the card. That way I do. Okay, it means I repeat what I'm doing. Uh, First of all, in my store, I take three variable, just empty data, like all false value. I'll take. Okay. So what my plan is, when I check this, I'll dispatch an action. So when you dispatch an action, uh, for that action, I will update the eating variable to be true in the NGRX store. Okay, and the same NGRX store variable I read, and that readed value from the store I attach to the card. So what happened when I check one action triggered display? When I uncheck again action triggered, it will go away. That's the plan. Okay, so let's do the process now. So first you have to create a store, actions, reducers, and connect. Okay, we have a document for that. This is the same story. And I'm not doing these two because I've already done that for my entire project. Yeah, if you're doing fresh project, you have to do these things. Okay, so let's create a store root level and component level to one action, one reducer. So action is a hobby select action. So let's say hobby select or just say hobby. Okay, hobby reducer, hobby actions. Okay, that way you do. Why bigger names? Just say hobby. Okay, so let's create this in the root level. So go to the fresh terminal, paste it, enter. So once you enter this, it will configure the root level empty store, and we can also check that in the debugger. After you execute that command, it will refresh. Come on, refresh. Not doing. I think it's still building, man. Where is that? Yeah, it's built now. Yeah, see, it is unable. And when I see the redux, yeah, initialized raw data state empty. Now store is configured successful empty. Fine. Now let's create what? One action, one reducer. Let me copy this action, and where you create is in the component because this is component specific action. So go to the, not this one. Yeah, go to components, hobby select folder, right click, open terminal. Yeah, paste it, enter. So before you type it, please cross check what are you doing it. Okay. Yeah. So y and y, that is done. Let's copy this one, reducer, paste it. Y, y, enter, done. So now check, actions has come, reducers has come. Okay. Let me start with actions. Okay. Actually, before I continue with actions and all, can't we write directly? See, already state is there, na? See, already state is configured, reducer is also configured. Can't you add the state and reducer directly to global state? Where is that? Here. Can't we add directly now? Yeah, let's try. Actually, we are doing the action creation, reducer creation, then we are binding. Actually, I can do directly. One second. Let me do that first. Import star as hobby reducer from dot slash component slash hobby select slash reducer slash hobby reducer. Done. So I can just make a feature key. What is that? Hobby reducer dot feature key with value hobby reducer dot state. Oh, you can configure like that. Okay, so just say hobby reducer, not there. Here, hobby reducer dot hobby feature key value will be hobby reducer dot reducer. Okay, super. At least empty reducer is configured. So what is my step is create, I mean, enter this command. It will configure the empty store. Later you execute these two. It will create empty action, empty reducer. So once you're done with this, empty reducer configure to store also. It works, this empty reducer. Let's see after you configure what is the state now. Okay, then later you focus on actions. Yeah, let's see the initial raw data state. See hobby, feature key, value is empty. Yeah, now my reducer also properly configured. Now let's focus on action and the actual reducer. Okay, go to actions. Yeah, what actions you planning? Actions will be HOBBIS. Hobby spelling correct only. Okay, okay. So three actions: check eating, check coding, check sleeping. Okay, I'll copy this. Let's make it here. So check eating. Okay, and I'll just make here check eating. Okay, fine. I don't need all this dummy. Yeah, check eating, copy, check coding, check sleeping, check coding. This also coding, and this is check sleeping. This is also check sleeping. Okay, done. So I have check eating, coding, and sleeping. Fine. So now let me write a reducer to modify this setup. So go to the reducers. Here state. Actually, what is the my component state? Eating, coding, sleeping values are there. So same way I'll do here. So state eating with the value just boolean type you have to declare. So coding boolean, sleeping boolean. Okay, and the state will be eating with the value false, default value, coding false, sleeping false. Okay, so you can check the state also now. You can check the real state also because we put initial state, no, redux initialized raw data state. See, all are false has come. Fine. So what my plan, when I check this, I want this to be true, this value to be true. When I uncheck, this value will be false, that way. So what I do, on let me import the actions, because see now there are multiple actions are exported. Let me use some one variable to fetch all. So I can import like this: import star as hobby actions from dot slash, no, dot slash actions slash hobby actions, not spec, hobby actions dot ts. Okay, so what I do, hobby actions dot check eating. So for check eating, so this, it doesn't take any property, just state. Okay, just state is default, no property as taken. So I just kept empty. So return what? So return this entire story, but in this I'm only modifying the eating value. So I just keep hold of existing data. If you are modifying all the three, then no, not required. If you are doing only one, those state dot state as it is. What you're changing now for eating? Eating value. Uh, Simple. If I check true, uncheck false. So either true or false. I can write a shortcut. Something like eating value will be already false when you check true. So I can say not state dot eating. So when I check it, it will become true. When I uncheck, it will become false. So not of existing value. Okay, this is easy. Yeah, and same thing. Copy, or else you do like this: on hobby actions dot check uh, check eating coding, and one state, you have a state. So same thing, return an object dot state, and also coding will be not state dot coding, like that. And same thing I'll make it for here, copy, paste it, So this is check sleeping, and this value will be sleeping, and this value will be sleeping. Done. So when I check the checkbox, I'm modifying the local, I mean my NGRX store. Fine. So now actions ready, reducer ready, and we already configured to the root level store also. We have a default values also like this. Fine. So now what's the plan is check. When I do the check, I have to I have to dispatch an action to change the value and then fetch it, add here. Okay. So let's go to the component. In this, yeah, this is don't declare any value because it's supposed to get from the store. So don't declare any value here, empty. Okay. And next, in HTML, I have binded with ng model, not required. We have to make it with our what our action, I mean calling action. So this is not required. This is also not required. Okay. I remove the ng model now. So if you remove ng model, nothing works. Oh, still working. How come? If I check, see nothing is working. Okay. So now what is my plan is when I check it, dispatch an action. When I check it, dispatch an action. So what is that? Eating. Okay. I'll say change event. Change event. I'll say um, change eating function. Change eating function. So let me create that in my app component. Sorry, public. This one here. So I have to dispatch an action when you check it. Dispatch an action means you have to get the store. So private store of type store. This is of type global. I think it's state, global state. You can cross check. Just click on this. It'll go to the global state. Okay, and yeah. So when I change this, let me dispatch an action. So let me import all actions because multiple import statements are there. So star as hobby actions from mm, dot slash action slash hobby actions. Okay, let me dispatch an action. What action? Eating action. So this dot store dot dispatch. What is action is? Um, hobby actions. My local import a variable dot check eating. Okay, it doesn't take any props, so nothing pass here. Okay, now check. When I check the checkbox, it will call an action that will update my store. See here. Observe very closely. Store is like this. So the moment I check it, it triggers an action. So when I check this, see eating value become true. Okay. So when I uncheck, again that is triggered, value become false. So check action triggered, uncheck action triggered. Now final value is this one. Okay, fine. So action is getting triggered and store is getting changed. Fine. Now that is one way. Okay. Next thing is what? Based on my state change happen in the NGRX store, let me fetch that value. Based on that value, whether to display the card or not, decide. Let me fetch data from the store. So how you fetch data from the store? Using the selector. So when I do is ng on init this dot store dot select, but I need to have a feature key. Let me import reducer also because feature key insert reducer na, as a hobby reducer from dot slash reducer slash hobby reducer. So let me do that here. Hobby reducer dot hobby feature key dot subscribe. If you subscribe, whatever change happen, it reflects in my local state. Okay, you have a state. Uh, so let me put it back to my local variables. So how I do this dot eating is equal to state dot eating value. Okay. So if eating change in the state, I mean NGRX store, it also update my local. Same way, same way. I think you have to put some semicolon. Same way, this dot coding is equal to state dot coding, and also this dot sleeping is equal to state dot sleeping. Done. So whatever you're updating there, it update also here. So now check, and also one more thing. This variable is already binded in HTML. See that local variable called eating is already binded with if condition. So if it is changed there, it automatically display that also. Okay, this I'm not doing because it's already there. Actually, okay, I have to bind it, but it's already binded, so I just leave it. Okay, eating value already binded here now. So I just change in my component. If you change, automatically reflects in the HTML, right? So fine. So now check uh, initial state like this false. When I check eating, see eating display value become true. When I uncheck triggered an action, value false is gone. So this is working. Okay, and same thing we have to make it for all. Okay, how I do for HTML? Same, just like this function call. I copy, make it for coding. To change coding, let's create it in the component. So let's say public this dot store dot dispatch an action hobby actions dot check coding action. Actually, why these many? Okay, one more. HTML, copy this. For sleeping, also dispatch an action. So change sleeping. Go create this function in my TS file. Public this one. So this dot store dot dispatch hobby actions dot check sleeping. Done. So please check. There is no state maintained in local. I mean, this variable represents only to bind it to the HTML, okay? But no value has made here. This value is getting actually from the NGRX store. And also how is getting changed also through store. I'm dispatching an action for every check. Okay. So now you see, just check eating, displayed action triggered. So check coding, action triggered, displayed. Check sleeping, action triggered, displayed. Okay, when I uncheck also, it's gone that way. So application is now working made with NGRX. NGRX. Okay, actually NGRX concept is for complex applications, but if you do simple example, simple component with NGRX, so you can even build a complex state management also with NGRX. So that's why we are doing from the low level to the next level. Okay, we'll see routing also with NGRX and GitHub search also with NGRX. Okay, and routing with modules also with NGRX and big basket application also with NGRX. We'll see. Okay, fine. So that is the story. Anything else we'll do? Okay, fine. So that is today's class. One minute, let me take a backup.
Sir, tomorrow class.
Yeah, we have class. Yeah, that's what I want to tell you. Wait. Here NGRX. Let me create a new folder 05 hyphen structural directives. Only one. That's fine. Okay. As a task, what you can do is in fundamentals, right? In fundamentals module for structural directives, we made a lot of components, right? I showed only one hobby selector. You can try auth card, employees, these things and all you try. Anyway, employees I can show you because NG for how to do I tell you, or you can try. Anyway, next class I tell you how to do the NG for and all. Meanwhile, you can try the remaining examples with NGRX, so you get some better understanding of NGRX flow and all. Okay. And thing is, we have class tomorrow. Okay, same time, same 6 to 8. We have class tomorrow. Okay, and Sunday also we have class. Okay, so please join in the same time. Okay, so Sunday
Sir,
no.
Sunday nako.
Okay, let's decide tomorrow. Let's decide tomorrow. Okay, so Saturday we have class. Okay, fine. So that's it. Thank you so much, and we'll meet tomorrow, same time. Okay, no time change, same 6 to 8. Right. Thank you.